will never defend a man who make amends with any enemy's friends. I will never pretend. Alrighty then. Wow. It's been an interesting week. Holy fucking shit, has it been one weird week for me here. I don't know about you. And this is going to end up being sort of a flashcast episode again, because after this I kind of have to go make a short film about Pink Floyd, which I'm both loving and hating at the same time. But if you've been keeping up with politics this week, and oh wait, first I need to do my sponsors, I almost forgot. First off, I got Distance Arts. Go check it out, get some good ass paintings. These things are fucking awesome. If you're that type of person who loves to do psychedelics, come back to your dorm room one night, see this shit hanging up on the wall. It's going to blow your goddamn mind. Go buy it now, bitches. But what else is there? Privacy Shield, still waiting for more stuff to come out about that. So until I get more, I'm putting your ads on hold. Got that, Brett? But, damn, I know I had one more sponsor. Oh, yeah, the Pontiac Tribune. I will begin writing there November 14th, so keep an eye out for new articles from the Pontiac Tribune. Got a good article about Gustave Le Bon coming up. And, I don't know what I'm going to do for my next one, but we'll figure another cool one out, that's for sure. This is a good opportunity. All right, bitches, to move on to the subject today. I don't know if any of you have kept up on the Florida gubernatorial race like I have. I've mainly kept up on it because, you know, one of the rules when I first came here to Voluntary Virtues was that you can't advocate voting. No advocating like anything like having to do with the political process. And sorry, Mike, I'm technically about to break that rule here today. I'm voting Libertarian, and let me tell you why. Well, for one, here's my slave registration card right here that allows me to make my suggestion, because after all, that's all this is. Like, who says that if you elect someone, they're going to be the exact fucking person they say they know? What you're doing is a suggestion. I suggest this person because I think that they will be better. But anyways, I don't know if any of you watched the Florida governor's debate, but I swear, you know, and I thought that the whole Sesame Street thing from the 2012 election, that Mitt Romney wanted to shut down Big Bird, was the big bad fucking thing, like the big like wrestling. You know, it's amazing how like American politics today has gone on to become just like professional wrestling, and that isn't an exaggeration either. I've always loved wrestling as a kid, so to see this type of stuff, it's like, it's disgusting, it's vile, it's like, it is the worst part of human nature, and go figure it has to do with politics. And here's basically what happened if you didn't watch this part of the debate, and if you didn't, just go online and watch it right now. It's like 3 minutes maybe. Basically, Rick Scott refused to take the stage because Charlie Crist had a fan under his podium. While all this was happening, Adrian Wiley was getting left out of the debates, even though months prior he was told that he would be allowed in the debates. And basically, of course, Crist took this, you know, I don't even know if he took this as an opportunity per se, because this all feels so scripted. It all feels so fake. Like, oh, I'm the good guy who wants to come out here and talk about the issues. Scott's the big corporate guy, but remember, he's bound to the rules, but I don't. It's like, you're both phony motherfuckers. You both are corrupt as hell. When I see one of you put out an attack ad calling the other one corrupt, I find it so ironic, because it's like, yes, Charlie Crist is corrupt, but I'm not. Vote for Rick Scott. Oh, what, the whole Medicare thing? Oh, forget about that. Forget about that. I'm good. I'm good. What's that? I changed the funds over to my wife's name. That way I didn't have to. Okay, I'm a good person. Okay, I'm not. But still, vote for me, Rick Scott. But, like, both sides are just fucking terrible in this. And, you know, the establishment is running scared because, you know, Wiley is now actually showing numbers, which is interesting. Like, this is the first time I've actually had a feeling that a third partier has a shot. And, you know, my thing has always been with voting that I won't vote whatsoever. My thing is I will vote if I see there's a chance to shake up the establishment, to really give the establishment a run for its money, because they know that if a third-party candidate did reach those types of critical numbers, they are doomed. There's no way they can fudge it. There's no way they can act like, oh, he didn't get that many votes. He's just some fringe third party. No. You see, this is exactly what the big parties, the big dogs, the big wolves are afraid of. And it seems to be going exactly that way in Florida. And it seems to be going that way in a lot of places in the United States right now, strangely enough. Recently, a libertarian candidate in Nebraska got killed in a plane crash. And a lot of people might call that freak coincidence, but after reading John Perkins' Confessions of an Economic Hitman, I seriously think that was an economic hit. You really think the establishment wouldn't take a hit out on a third partier? Of course they would. But with the whole Scott and Chris thing, I mean, the reason why people are more open to Wiley too is because we've already had Charlie Crist as our governor. We know how much he sucks. We just had Rick Scott as our governor, and we know how much he sucks. And yet people are still acting like there's this big difference, as if they're both not corrupt. As if I still have to come around and remind people that Charlie Crist was also just as corrupt. He says Rick Scott is too shady for the Sunshine State. Well, Charlie Crist should look in a fucking mirror. And you know, I already have a plan for voting day too. I haven't really done many man on the street videos. I was planning on doing some to some of these people who stand on the street corners holding up signs saying, vote for so-and-so because so-and-so will do something to protect me and you, but they'll also pass a fuck ton of more laws. I'll point guns at your neck. I mean, I was going to go interview a bunch of those people, but unfortunately, just as I got my camera out, a lot of them stopped doing that. But I'm sure they will be back sometime before Election Day. So I'll go out on the streets trying to grab some interviews with some of those tools. But the day of voting, aside from going on and casting my slave suggestion just so I can someday later when I'm older say I at least voted once, I will be staying at the polls all that day with my camera. And I'm going to try and get some interviews with people and see what type of hope they still have in this system and why they are still going to it. Why they feel the need to come and say, I think so-and-so should be our ruler on the local level or on the state level or on the federal level. Even though the local level is all that's really practical to me in my day-to-day life. It's sad to see people play into this delusion because I meet people who will say, well, you got to vote for Scott or you got to vote for Chris or else your voice isn't being counted at all. You saying that my voice is not counted at all totally contradicts the meaning. And dear God, it hates me to use this state-ups term. It contradicts the thing on the Sun Sentinel's Facebook page. And you know, it's amazing how you just write something online and all of a sudden you have people, network difficulties currently. Oh dear Lord, please tell me this will come back and work soon. Check your connectivity. I hate this. Okay, it looks like we're back in live again. But I wrote something on the Sun Sentinel's Facebook page when they said they came out in support of Charlie Crist. I said, us libertarians demand two things, and you better fulfill one of them. We demand, if you're not going to dissolve the state, if we're never going to make it to that, fine by me. It could just live as a pipe dream for all I care to the end of my days, and hopefully the next generation will. But there is one thing we do want, and that is representation. And if we do not get representation, then it's easy what the next solution is. Straight out of Le Bon. It's a revolution. That's exactly what you will see the more and more they start to repress these liberty candidates, is a lot more people will start realizing that representation will never happen. And the more and more people will start calling for a revolution. And even though I am soon going to partake in this statist tradition, which in a way is no different than the traditions of the occult, but another conversation for another day. As I'm getting ready for this, I'm getting ready to just do this one time. Because in 2012, I remember saying that Ron Paul was going to be the last straw before I finally gave up on politics altogether. And you know what? I didn't get to vote that time because I was like 1 year behind or something like that. And, I decided to give this one a chance only because I see the potential of Adrian Wiley for governor. I see the potential. I talk to people who are willing to vote for the guy. And, as much as I'd love to not vote for anyone at all, this time around I will simply do it because there's an opportunity to really shake up the system, to really wake people up, to show people just how fake this whole establishment is. I mean, if we show them that, hey, there's a shitload of people who voted for this person and they were not counted at all, that's a good thing because that will show people just how fake. It'll show people just what tyranny they are living under. And so I guess if there's anything that can be learned from this sort of flash cast that I'm doing here today, it's that if you see the opportunity to vote for a Liberty candidate, I highly recommend doing it, not for the sake that you're going to be voting for someone who will hopefully get into office, but in the hope that you can shake up the establishment, in the hope that you will wake someone up from the status quo. In that hope. So I hope you've enjoyed my 10-minute long rant on the Florida political system, which I'll tell you, Rolling Stone said it best in one of their articles. If you want to see everything wrong with the American political system, just go and look at fucking Florida this year. It's really the worst. And no matter what, Chris or Scott is going to be the next governor. Not because Wiley isn't popular. The reason why is because, well, if you really want to know, the game was rigged from the start. It's rigged to either the Democrats or the Republicans. And you know what? That's what really goes to show you that, and that alone can also go on to prove to people that this is not a democracy or even a republic. This is an oligarchy. This is fascism. Alrighty then. Sorry to cut this episode a little bit short this week. After all, I have to go make a short film on the Pink Floyd, so both loving and dreading, but I hope you at least took something away from my little rant here, because this has really been eating at me on the inside. And to see this whole fan thing happen as the big controversy for this election is just like, I'm not even going to lie, and I'm not the only one who's had this problem too. It honestly depresses me because it shows the worst of humanity. And, I have a good interview with Mark Korse coming up, the author and director of the film Engines of Domination. If you haven't seen it, I'll be interviewing him next week. Go watch it. It's a really friggin' good movie. I mean, I'm not even going to lie, I have my differences with Korse, but that's where I think it's going to come out really good in the interview. But at the beginning of the film, he has a really good section of dialogue between Socrates and Hypatia. And it perfectly maps out the conflict between man and his captor, and the hope that there is for human nature, and the hope there is for humanity in the future, I should say, not nature, but. And, that is, in a way, something I see with an opportunity with this. We could wake people up by doing this, by showing that these men are not our leaders. Hell, they aren't even our rulers. They are our captors. And we are the animals struggling for our own freedom. Oh, man. It's like quite the rant I just had there. And I should probably wrap this up so that I may wrap up the documentary I have to make. But I hope that someone out there who's in Florida who's maybe been a little sick of the political system out there like I have, kind of sees this as an opportunity of, hey, maybe we should just throw our 2 cents in simply so that we can shake up this establishment or wake people up. I hope I'm not the only one. Well, I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to several ANCAPs who plan on voting for Adrian Wiley for governor. But I guess I will close this on a little different note, on a note that I was talking about before, and I had connection problems around the time that that happened. Thanks, NSA, my friends. But I guess I might as well close this. No, I'm going to close this on 2 things real quick. I'll close this on a little joke I've been having about the whole Wiley fan thing. It really is something straight out of WWE, because I swear there's a clip out there of some champion in the WWE. Man, I ain't gonna wrestle tonight for the championship because I didn't agree to no ladder match. I agreed to a single-on-single fight. I feel like there's a video out there of some wrestler who's a champion doing something like that. So if there is, please send it to me so I could crop the 2 videos together just to show how fucking stupid this whole Charlie Chris Rick Scott thing really is. But I might as well close this on a little bit of a different note than I normally would. This is Mitchell Wiecek of the Adorkable Anarchist World, looking to the establishment, demanding representation, or else there will be a revolution. Good day to everyone.